In this video, I am going to talk about the Japanese-American co-production sci-fi movie Solar Crisis, which was released in the year 1990. Solar Crisis currently has an IMDb rating of 4.2 out of 10 stars, which doesn't really justify the movie's detailed plot. This movie is based on a novel called Crisis 2050. In this video, I will break down the plot of Solar Crisis into digestible parts and discuss it. Before starting the video, I would like to give you a spoiler alert. If you want to watch a spoiler-free review, you can use the navigation panel of the video to directly jump to the final verdict chapter. Now, let's start the video without any further delay. The movie begins with a text narration that informs the viewers about the movie being based in the future, where the sun is about to die very soon. Like a dying flame which flickers, before dying out completely, sun has started releasing numerous high-temperature solar flares. For almost 1,000 days, these solar flares have been destroying the Earth's atmosphere, resulting in continuous storms and a significant rise in temperature. Many parts of the Earth's land have turned into deserts, and resources have become scarce. Water has become a precious commodity in this hotter Earth. Greedy organizations have begun hoarding all the available resources, leading to increase in crime and chaos. Moreover, another mega flare is about to hit the Earth soon, which will lead to the complete destruction of all life forms. After the sun dies, the atmosphere will become extremely cold, making it impossible for any life forms to survive and grow on Earth in the future. Then the movie showcases the first scene, set in space on the New Trinity, which is located 500,000 kilometers away from Earth. Here, humans have developed an antimatter bomb, which is considered the most advanced and powerful bomb ever created by the mankind. Captain Steve Kelso is introduced, who is seen having a conversation with an AI named Freddy, who is in charge of this antimatter bomb. The story progresses as we see Freddy and the antimatter bomb being loaded onto a cargo ship named Chicago for transfer. The Chicago ship's mission is to transport the antimatter bomb and Freddy to a research facility called Skytown, where the Helios starship awaits their arrival. Then the scene changes and moves to the headquarters of the IXL Corporation on Earth, which is a corrupt private organization. The board members of IXL were discussing the Starfire mission, whose purpose was to prevent the mega sun flare. Dr. Haas insisted that they should support the Helios expedition. However, the CEO of the company, Mr. Teague, disagreed, stating that IXL should invest in the future and didn't believe that Earth would be destroyed. The details of the Starfire mission had not been made public yet. In the next scene, we see Captain Kelso boarding the Skytown ship. Kelso is greeted by Cadet Alex Knopf. Through this scene, we learn that Kelso's father was an admiral, and Kelso had a son who was on Earth. Kelso volunteered for the mission to go to the sun. Then the scene moves to the Skytown ship, where Captain Borg explains, if the mega flare from the sun reaches Mercury, the Earth's surface will turn into glass, resulting in the death of 50% of the Earth's population. And if the flare reaches Venus, the Earth's surface will turn into magma, causing the death of 90% of the Earth's population. Alex informs the crew that if an antimatter bomb is detonated in region 17 of the sun, it can prevent the mega flare and save the sun as well. Captain Kelso then provides the mission details. Their plan is to take the Helios ship close to the sun, where Raw Orb carrying a 5-ton antimatter bomb will be dispatched. Chicago cargo ship will bring Raw Orb near the sun, and one of them have to manually pilot Raw to the sun because they haven't tested AI Freddy, fearing that it might malfunction due to the sun's electromagnetic field. To avoid the risk, one of them will have to manually pilot Raw Orb to region 17, which is considered a suicide mission. Then the scene changes and moves to a desert on Earth where a helicopter crashes, and a young pilot survives. He seeks water and enters a nearby hut where he encounters a strange old man. Here, viewers come to know that the pilot is Mike Kelso, the son of Captain Kelso. He had run away from his academy to meet his father, but his helicopter crashed midway, leaving him stranded in an unknown location. In the next scene, we see Mike's grandfather escaping from Skytown ship in an escape pod heading towards Earth to find Mike. Meanwhile, Mike attempts to reach the nearby base with the stranger. After their bike's tire punctures, the two make few unsuccessful attempts to stop IXL company's cargo trucks, but they finally manage to stop one of the trucks and ride on it. In the next scene, we see that Mr. Teague, the chairman of IXL, sends his henchmen to subdue Alex and infiltrate her system to prevent her from completing the Starfire mission. They somehow manage to render Alex unconscious and tamper with her programming. Now, Mr. Teague had control over Alex from Earth. This reveals to the viewers that Alex was a genetically enhanced human created through a program, and it was during this altercation that Teague's henchmen managed to interfere with her program. In the following scene, Mr. Teague's plan becomes apparent. As IXL had made significant investments in the future, their interest lay in the destruction of Earth. They had invested heavily in the preservation of resources like food, water, and seeds. Hence, they wanted to prevent the Starfire mission from succeeding. Teague leaves Dr. Haas in the desert to perish, as Dr. Haas was in favor of the Starfire mission. In the next scene, we see in the IXL cargo truck, Mike discovers that the stranger who helped him is Travis. When the truck is attacked by a rebel group, it becomes apparent that Travis is an ex-colonel. Meanwhile, on the Helios spacecraft, a technical malfunction occurs, requiring the ship's crew to enter the radiation chamber to fix it. A crew member volunteers for the task, successfully repairing the ship's malfunction but succumbing to radiation exposure, leaving the remaining crew members with no other choice but to witness their comrades' demise. In another part of the desert, Dr. Haas is found and rescued by members of the rebel group, who bring him to Mike and Travis. Dr. Haas then informs Mike about Teague. Mike leaves Travis and sets off for their base. However, a member of the rebel group informs IXL about Dr. Haas, leading Teague's goons to discover Mike's whereabouts and capture him along the way. Meanwhile, on the Helios spacecraft, then Alex obtains an access card from Dr. Minami. Teague's goons take Mike to Travis, who had been tortured, while Alex, using the access card, gains control over Helios systems. In the desert, the Admiral's search unit reaches the rebel group's location, closing in on Mike. Additionally, another mechanical problem occurs on Helios, resulting in the ship's structure being damaged, 63% of the oxygen depleting, and making it impossible for the crew to return to Earth. Borg and Kelso suspect foul play and instruct the crew members responsible for changing the ship's program to be identified. Furthermore, Mike is now in Teague's custody, and after investigating in IXL headquarters, the Admiral discovers Teague's nefarious activities. In another turn of events, Teague orders Mike's execution, but his goons fail in their attempt. Mike manages to contact the Admiral successfully, who promptly arrives at the scene. The Admiral and his unit reaches IXL's headquarters and shoots down Teague's helicopter. On Helios, another technical problem arises, causing the ship to accelerate towards the sun. At that moment, the crew retrieves a coded message sent from Earth, intended for Alex. Kelso obtains an ID that had been used to tamper with the ship, belonging to Milani. Kelso instructs Milani to exit the raw probe, and we witness the countdown for manual detonation beginning inside the orb, set to explode in 6 minutes. In an attempt to prevent the explosion, Milani attacks Freddy's systems, resulting in an explosion inside the orb. Both Milani and Alex become unconscious, while Freddy was programmed to receive commands from only 2 individuals, Alex and Milani, who were both unconscious. Alex somehow regains control and stops Freddy, explaining to Kelso that all the events were a result of her programming. Kelso instructs the ship's crew to return to Chicago so they can return to Earth. Alex renders Kelso unconscious and takes control to pilot Ra herself, aiming to rectify her past mistakes. Alex launches the Ra into the sun, resulting in a massive explosion and stabilizing the sun. Helios then heads back towards Earth, concluding the movie. I would give Solar Crisis 2.5 out of 5 stars. Speaking of the entertainment factor, this movie is not entertaining. The pace of the movie is quite slow, and it uses a lot of technical terms, which makes it challenging to interpret the storyline. If the movie had explained technical aspects in simpler terms, it could have added depth to the story, similar to popular franchises like Star Trek and Star Wars. Unfortunately, due to poor execution, the movie fails to capture that depth effectively. The main villain, Mr. Teague, also lacks a well-developed storyline in the movie, leaving it unclear whether he survives or not. Similarly, a lot of plots were not explained like Rebel Group of the movie. The English version of this movie is available on YouTube, and you can find the watching link in the description of the video. If you enjoyed the plot of this movie, I would definitely recommend checking out the Star Trek and Star Wars movies. They are both highly popular and beloved franchises with captivating storylines and immersive worlds. That's all for this video. To watch more interesting videos, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care and goodbye. Peace out.